It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in ahead of a bumper, I want to say weekend, but let's call it a stanza, a second half of rugby, the Rugby Championship opener between South Africa and our beautiful old foes, Australia, in Johannesburg. Promises to be probably a really good contest if our Super Rugby is anything to go by. Previous matches between the Boks and the Wallabies, always delivering memorable encounters, sensational wins, breathtaking losses as well. And of course, all in the context of the upcoming Rugby World Cup. This is massive. Very exciting World Cup rugby warm-up. We're going to call it a shortened version of the championship. Sports anchor Katua Low, who looks so much better in the rugby jersey than I do, man.
It's just because I don't have my face at the back.
I know. But luckily,
we're still stronger together, though.
We are very much stronger together, and the Boks need us now because it's going to be a challenge of a year. How do we put this in perspective? Let's start with the shortened Rugby Championship.
Yeah.
In the light of a shortened Super Rugby season, which was pretty weird, but awesome. It kind of reignited a bit of fire there as well. How are you feeling about the Rugby Championship now this close to a World Cup?
I think it's good because now, from our perspective, Coach Rassie can actually test out some combinations and bleed in that young guns that he has been trying to bleed in since last year. So now they can actually feature in a Rugby Championship. And I think it's very cool, I think, so that he has two groups. So the other group's already on their way to New Zealand. And Damien Dalende, Faf de Klerk, Chaselin Colby, they're already on their way. Those are only some of the names. They're already on their way to New Zealand.
They're not just sending those
they're not
guys
just like sending them out of the country.
Guys, just if you can do
Thanks for coming. So it's nice. I think it's going to be very, very cool to see who starts in, and like we've got Warwick Gelant in fullback this weekend. We've got Herschel Jantjies at scrum half, which I'm very, very excited about.
Yeah, well done, son. Well done. You mentioned a lot of young players. We'll get into that, but let's talk about Ellis Park as a fortress. And just this whole having two squads, you're going to need it because that's the way New Zealand players, they can field pretty much the Hurricanes or the Crusaders at any given moment. Yeah, so they do play that kind of group squad mentality. But Ellis Park, this is a happy hunting ground for the Boks, certainly against the Wallabies. Yeah, and the Wallabies obviously were wounded since last year. We beat them in PE in last year's Rugby Championship. Beat seems to be such a buck's law. Yeah, and we can say that. Yeah, so they have a lot to prove this year around, and it's 11 years ago I think we had a Wallabies Springbok clash last at Ellis Park. So it's going to be epic all around. I hope, or I know the Boks are going to do very, very well. The Wallabies, they've got a lot to prove, and also this is their first game without Israel Folau, so it could be damaging. That's a whole different discussion, and I kind of, my heart tells me one thing, but from an Australian perspective, I'm sure their heads are telling them something else. We could reach 200 test tries. We need 3 more tries to reach 200 test tries against Australia. Makazolama, Pimpis, and Buinkosi, we've got that in the bag. We got it down. We love the exciting, incredible young players that are coming through the ranks now. Are we going to see any new names put their hand up during this Rugby Championship? Who are you most excited about? No, Herschel Jantjies, without a doubt. I've been a fan of him since. It's cool because you can see him go through the ranks. Varsity Shield, Super Sport Rugby Challenge, Super Rugby. Now he's with the Boks, so it's very, very nice to see his progression, and I just think he's just one of those X-factor players, man. So for him, especially, and then obviously, I mean, our backs are just, I think, the best in the world. So we've got loads of depth there, so let's see what they do. Finishes. I think the fact that our wings are scoring so many tries, that is just, it seems very un-South African to be playing that kind of running rugby, and I say that with all due respect. But the wings can only perform if they work hard up front, so let's not forget the forwards. And the boys are looking good. They are primed. I know we probably have a bit of Super Rugby fatigue, as we were saying earlier. From an Australian perspective, Michael Cheika dealing with a massive amount of injuries, it seems, missing key players, not just Israel, but a couple of stalwarts there. How are Australia feeling about this Rugby Championship? Is this a bridge too far, this close to a World Cup? You could see in the press conference, Michael Cheika is not as animated as he is, he's not as Aussie-ness, if I can say that. Australian as he normally is. So I think they are very wary of what's going on in their camp, and also some of their players only joined on Wednesday. So it's a tight turnaround for them, and I think they are a bit nervous, but the Aussies always do the talking off and on the field, but let's see what they do this Saturday. I mean, you've got the Michael Hoopers in this world that are just absolutely phenomenal, and they do lead with the way that they play. Exactly. Just like you, very proud of what you're doing in the world of sport at the moment. You really are inspiring a lot of people, so thank you so much. Just for the Boks, baby, because we really are stronger together.